It's Badminton World, the show that brings you all things badminton from the four corners of the globe. In the next 30 minutes, we take a look at the game in Europe, mourn the demise of a legend, but celebrate an eccentric character that promotes badminton in Finland, plus the latest world rankings and results. Badminton has come a long way since a group of nations from Europe gathered to form a world body almost 8 decades ago. Yet Europe is struggling to cope with the increasingly Asian-dominated sport. We spoke to players past and present on the future of badminton in the old continent. When a proper structure and organization were put in place 8 decades ago, it was upon the initiative of a group of European nations who formed the International Badminton Federation, the forerunner of Badminton World Federation, with Europe dominating proceedings in the boardroom as well as the dressing room. Today, only a select group of shuttlers from Europe, particularly Denmark, are making their presence felt as the balance of power on the courts has shifted to Asia. In the men's singles, Jan O. Jorgensen, Hans Christian Vittinghus, Victor Axelsen and Mark Zwiebler carry on their slender shoulders European fortunes. Julian Schenk, Tina Baun and Petya Nedelcheva are exceptions to the rule in women's singles, while Matthias Bo and Carsten Morgensen lead the men's doubles, ranking as one of only 4 European pairs in the top 25.
Back in those days, it was very much, the Danes were very, very strong. Great Britain, England players were very good too, Swedish players, German players. But you have to remember it was very, very different because, of course, the Chinese players weren't playing on the world tour, and nor were the South Koreans.
To discover how long Denmark has become a traditional powerhouse in badminton, just take a cursory glance at the list of past winners of the men's singles at the All England. The Viking Age formed a part of badminton history. The first champion outside England or Ireland was a Dane, Tage Madsen, who bagged the men's singles title in 1939 at the age of 20. His feat was emulated by 9 more Danes, including Peter Gade, Paul Erik Hoyer Larsen, Morten Frost, as well as 7-time winner Erland Kops. Kenneth Jonassen, the 2008 European champion who struggled to survive the Asian onslaught, nonetheless remains optimistic of a European renaissance. But is it a question of playing catch-up or merely keeping up pace with the Chinese?
We have to do both. We cannot allow just to catch up. We need to keep developing and hopefully at one point to get ahead. But it is true we are running behind, and it's just the sheer number of players coming through. But we also see a little bit of the trend, the same in Asia. It's not every Asian country that's keep developing good players in each discipline.
But from providing the inaugural champion of the World Championship in 1977 in both the men's and women's singles, things have changed considerably for Denmark. The Danes, for so long the strongest European flag bearers, have taken a back seat, allowing the Asians, and in particular China, to reign supreme, except for occasional success in mixed doubles in the last 10 years. Although badminton became part of the Olympic family in 1992, the sport has yet to really take off in terms of financial support in the old continent.
Whereas I think it took a longer time for the European countries, for the countries to support them, because there wasn't so much prize money. But it's not like tennis that the players can just make enough money to live good nice. We need some sponsorship and sometimes from the government as well.
As badminton tries to position itself in the greater scheme of things, media exposure is of paramount importance.
Oh, I think becoming an Olympic sport has changed badminton out of all recognition, really. I mean, it's taken seriously in the big picture of global sport. It's now funded for development through the Olympic development scheme. Money comes back to the sport, and there's a real encouragement of more and more countries to participate.
Denmark remained a class above the rest thanks to its club-based system, with more than 500 clubs affiliated to the Danish BA and close to 100,000 registered active players.
I think it's really important. I think that's what makes us strong. I think that's really good that we have this strong culture in Denmark. So that's good.
They have very good very good system in Denmark. In Poland we don't have so many people. It's not so popular like in Denmark.
Despite Gay's retirement, Denmark appears to have a group of potential heirs apparent, maintaining their proud tradition of having at least one world-class shuttler in the men's singles in every decade since the 50s. The mantle is likely to be shared among the trio of O. Jorgensen, Axelsen and Vittinghus.
Hopefully Victor, Hans and I can all three be part of the next generation, and we hope to take some big titles.
With a strong competition and organizational structure, Europe is the envy of Asia. Yet the number of shuttlers of real caliber outside Denmark is a cause for concern. Financial muscle to develop the game can only be attained if there is an iconic figure promoting the game as an ambassador with commercial appeal.
The only way the European networks are going to really want to get enthused in initially is if there's European players doing well. So yes, we have a huge problem because at the moment we haven't got enough European players from enough different countries doing well globally.
Despite its status as the fastest racket sport, badminton has to compete with other sports that have a massive following. Badminton is the second most popular participatory sport in the world, just behind football, also known as soccer, and it enjoyed the distinction of being the most watched discipline in the Olympic Games in Atlanta 1996, when Dane Erik Høyer Larsen became the first European to break the Asian stranglehold in the Olympics with a gold medal.
In Denmark, football is of course the biggest sport, and then when I started, badminton was number 2. It's kind of gone to number 3 or 4 now, but badminton is still pretty big in Denmark, where I'm originally from.
For many badminton advocates, the money and talent scouting network in football are unrivaled.
Yeah, it's very hard. Actually, we don't have any chance with football because it's a different discipline. I think in all world, the football is number 1.
In terms of passion, participation and marketing appeal, Asia is in the driving seat, but Europe is working doubly hard to close the gap and make things happen.
And what we have to try and do is make everybody realise that badminton is this terrific, enthusiastic, dynamic, exciting, explosive sport that people could enjoy watching.
Badminton. No sport comes close.
Hello, you wanna see what's in my bag? I've got my wallet, the other one. Then I've got obviously my home keys. This indicates my nickname, Kunko. So I've got rackets. Heavy racket. Some coins, I don't even know from which country is it, but I don't know. Then I've got some Nokia charger. I haven't had Nokia phone for, I don't know, for 10 years, but I've got Nokia charger obviously here. So that was my bag, and satisfied.
Coming up next, find out who else apart from Denmark is strong enough to represent Europe's interest on the world stage. So stay tuned to Badminton World.
My name is Ville Lang, I'm from Finland, and you are watching Badminton World.
Welcome back to Badminton World. With a fair representation in the world rankings in almost all disciplines, Denmark is without a shadow of a doubt Europe's sole flag bearer. With an array of talent that includes 2010 World Junior Champion Victor Axelsen, 2010 European Championship runners-up Jan O. Jorgensen, the men's doubles top pair Matthias Bo, Carsten Morgensen, as well as Thomas Leben and Camilla Ritter-Juhl, who lifted the mixed doubles title in the 2009 World Championship, Denmark continues to be medal contenders on the world stage.
It's really only Denmark and a couple of Germans, Juliana Schenk in the women's singles. Mark Schwiebler is a very good player in the men's singles, but he's not contesting for titles in the same way as the Danes are. Denmark have got women's doubles pair, men's doubles pair, of course, number one in the world at the moment with Bo and Mogensen. Men's singles, they've traditionally had very good players. Women's singles, you've got Tina Bound. So it's really been led at the moment by Danish players as far as success from Europe is concerned in world badminton.
We have a number of good players in Europe. I mean, men's doubles, we have the best player in the world, Bo Mogensen, playing brilliant at the moment. But it feels like we have a lot of younger ones coming through. So it's maybe the older ones, such as in England, like Nathan Robertson, Anthony Clark, they've stopped recently, and now there's maybe a small gap between the younger ones coming through. So hopefully in the coming years, next 2 years, you'll see a lot more Europeans.
Well, of course, Denmark is still the European top nation, but we're trying to catch up and we're really improving. Same as England, also a very strong country traditionally in Europe.
Yeah, I think they've been the best Europeans, and although there's been one or two players from different countries that can compete with the top players, normally the Danish squad always is at quite a high level as well, and the best bet for Europe to win some medals.
What about England, who boast of world silver medalists Chris Adcock and Imogen Bankier, and Sweden, two nations at one time on par with Denmark?
I think it's two different stories. First of all, Sweden, they had a very different system in the past, so they had a very strong club system, and these clubs had some difficulties, and they did not really have a national center until just 5 or 6 years ago. And in England, yeah, I think they're just, I don't know, they might be on a short downward movement, but they will come back very strong in the near future.
With 51 member countries affiliated to Badminton Europe and 800,000 registered players in the whole continent, Europe is keen to create a bigger impression on the global stage. Indications are Russia, having bagged its first medal in the Olympics through the bronze medal effort of Valeria Sorokina and Nina Vyslova in the women's doubles last year, is serious in developing the game through schools, while England, Germany, Netherlands and Sweden may have to contend with the emergence of talents from Spain and Turkey. Only time will tell whether or not other countries outside Great Britain and Scandinavia have the capacity to mount a challenge. Patience is required. The answer, of course, lies with the youth.
Like Germany have improved and their players are getting some good results, and I see now like Holland have a lot of very good young players at like 19, 20, 21 that at the moment this level of tournaments is a bit too much, I think, but in a year or two then perhaps they can like be a strong force in Europe and maybe in the world as well.
Let's take a look now at Ireland, one of IBF's founding nations. In December 2012, the Carlton Irish Open was held with a record number of entries. Ireland's top professional Scott Evans won his first ever international tournament. The Dubliner, who lost all his 7 previous finals, made the breakthrough on home turf in Baldoyle, beating Francis Lucas Corvée 21-19, 21-18 in 37 minutes. It was the perfect end to a great week for the Dubliner, who didn't drop a set throughout the tournament. Currently ranked just inside the world's top 60, Evans added a different dimension to his game with a new layer of disguise and deceptive net play. However, Olympian Chloe McGee, also the top seed, was beaten in the women's finals. Denmark's Lena Jarsfeldt saw off McGee 23-21, 18-21, 21-18 in a contest that lasted just under an hour. The tournament received good feedback, according to Badminton Ireland CEO Richard Vaughan.
It's another place and really happy with the event, which is really important. They appreciate the TV court and the streaming. That we do a really good job on that. And the fact that the tournament's really well organised, we have a really good hotel with Hilton Hotel Group at the airport, and that we're such a close location to Dublin Airport makes it really easy for the players that are playing 10 to 20 tournaments a year. They can come and go, and everything's really good quality. So I think it's kind of one of the easiest and player-friendly tournaments on the circuit.
Badminton. No sport comes close.
Coming up on Badminton World, we catch up with the only player apart from Lin Dan to steal a game from the world #1 in last year's Olympics.
Hi, my name is Kenneth Jonassen. You're watching Badminton World.
Welcome back to Badminton World. The Germans created one of the biggest upsets in recent history by bagging the European Mixed Team Badminton Championships after defeating 14-time champions Denmark in Borisogledski Sport Hall in Ramenskoye near Moscow, Russia. World #4 Julian Schenk earned the Germans their first point with a 2-set victory over Danish youngster Lina Jarsfeldt 21-9, 21-16. And from there, the Germans, who knocked host Russia out in the semi-finals, never looked back. The best resistance Denmark could offer came in the form of Hans Christian Vittinghus, who dragged Mark Zwiebler to 3 games before the German won 21-17, 8-21 and 21-7. An inspired Schenk combined forces with Birgit Michels to wrap things up, beating Christina Petersen and Camilla Ritter-Juhl 21-19, 21-15, giving coach Holger Haas his first major title. England once again had to settle for a bronze medal alongside host Russia, but not before seeing Rajiv Yusuf scalping Victor Axelsen 21-16, 21-12, and Andy Ellis and Chris Adcock beating Matthias Boe and Carsten Morgensen 16-21, 22-20 and 21-19. Now let's take a peek at the world rankings so far. In all categories, there are no changes in the players' world rankings. Lee Chong Wei remains firmly on top of the men's singles going into the All England in March. The same goes with the women's singles category, the men's doubles category, women's doubles category and the mixed doubles category. But come March, it's anybody's game and the top contenders will have to dig deep to remain leader of their respective categories. For more info, you can visit BWF's official website.
Badminton. No sport comes close.
A fine example of someone who had to make a choice between football and badminton is featured in our player profile this month. Badminton World gets up close and personal with Finland's #1 shuttler, Ville Lang. Born on February 14th, 1985, Lang is Finland's unrivaled champion for the past decade.
I started at the age of 10, I remember. I was playing soccer at that time, and my mom said that I should start playing badminton to be able to play better in soccer. So I was a little bit fat boy at that time. I'm still fat, but I'm not that fat anymore. So I was quite slow, so that's why I started to play badminton to get faster.
Little did he know the decision would have a tremendous effect on his career path.
I got quite good, quite fast in badminton, and then at the age of 14 I had to decide if I'm gonna play football or badminton, because I had so many trainings already at that time, and football was also quite injury risk sport at that time already, even though you're just 14 years old. So then I decided to go with badminton.
Lang is where he is today thanks largely to his parents.
From me, but also from my parents when I was younger. So I have to thank them for all they have done for me, and that's one really important thing what it was, and I mean I'm very grateful for them.
Lang captured some attention with his performance in the Olympic Games in London. Lang stole a game from the world #1 Lee Chong Wei as he came close to causing one of the biggest upsets in London 2012.
Obviously I had no pressure because no one expected me to win, and I think in Malaysia some people expected Lee Chong Wei to win, so I had no pressure. It was quite okay situation actually for me to go on court and just do my best, and started off quite awfully losing first set, big time, but then somehow I just turned it away in the second set, and then in the third set I really had a actually fair chance to win that match, but then Chong Wei played brilliantly in the end and he just crushed me.
What do Lang's opponents think of him?
He's a nice guy. I know him quite well. He's a little bit crazy, but I think you have to be a singles player because it's a very hard event.
What can I say? He's special, but in a good way. He has very good emotions on the court and he's so special, and he's like not like other players. Very crazy, but it's good.
I think his style is good. I think he makes it awkward for his opponent always, even if he's not playing well or he doesn't like the situation, he can always make it difficult. So yeah, I think in that way he's a very good player.
Outside badminton, Lang counts golf as his #1 hobby.
Golf is my #1 hobby. Golf, yeah. But I haven't had so much time to play it. It takes so much out of the day, obviously, when you go to play, and then it's quite tiring physically and more mentally. And if you lose your money also. It's when we go with the boys, then it's we always bet big money, so it's quite hard mentally.
But before golf, Lang was emotionally attached to the game of cards, poker to be exact.
I used to like it. I used to like it really much. I mean, I played it too much, and that time also the newspapers in Finland, they were calling me like a poker addict at that time. So I mean, I was never addicted to that, but I was quite good at that, so I made money with that. So it was really nice, and then with my friends had a nice time. But obviously it's really bad for badminton to play all night and then go straight to the training.
Lang was candid about his weight management and owes it all to his sweet tooth.
I gained weight really easily, actually. At the Christmas time I was just eating and I don't even know how much I ate. So that's one of my bad habits. Of course, I love chocolate, I love sleeping, I love all things which doesn't benefit my badminton, basically. So it's I would say that my whole life is sacrifice.
But not many people know that this manly man has crushed on a certain actor.
Must be George Clooney. At least he's the best looking. Every time I watch him, I'm thinking why I'm straight, why I'm not gay. I mean, he's so good looking.
Badminton. No sport comes close.
March is set to be a month of drama and action as the Yonex All England Championship poised to take the glare of the spotlight on March 5th to 10th. The Asiata Cup, the regional event created by telco giants Asiata and inaugurated in 2012, is back, starting with the group stages in Surabaya, Indonesia on March 21st to 24th, while the second group stage will be held simultaneously in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia and Surabaya on March 28th to 31st, before the finals held on April 13th to the 14th in Kuala Lumpur. This will be followed by the Yonex Sunrise India Open in New Delhi, India on April 23rd to 28th. For more information, visit the BWF official website. January 28, 2013 was a day of sadness for Malaysian badminton. The legendary Eddie Choong, 5-time men's singles All-England champion, drew his last breath in Penang, Malaysia at the age of 82. A man considered the father of Malaysian badminton, Choong was small in size but massive in reputation and stature.
His devotion to the game was outstanding. He extended his passion not only to Malaysian players but also to other foreign players. He once called me to his side and began to advise me on my gameplay. That is one fond memory of him that I will never forget.